Yo, it's Casey, and the NBA GM survey just came out on NBA.com, and they come out with this every single year, and they don't always get it right. Like a couple of years ago, they said, who would you want to build your team around? They picked Karl Anthony Towns, like over LeBron or Giannis. So sometimes the answers are crazy. And the cool thing is, A, it's anonymous, so these GMs can feel free to answer honestly. And two, you can't vote for your own guys. So if they ask who is the best coach in the NBA, Pat Riley cannot vote for Eric Spoelstra. He has to pick someone else. Let's run through them and react real quick. Which team will win the NBA Finals? Number 1, Brooklyn Nets. 2, Lakers. 3, Bucks. But the Nets got 72% of the vote. This is like the biggest landslide of a vote since the Dynasty Warriors were doing their thing. This is why the Nets need to trade Kyrie Irving, because you know that Kyrie just sitting out will take their chances way down. This is a golden opportunity for Kevin Durant to prove he can win away from Golden State, for James Harden to prove that he can win at all, which would do a lot for his legacy. And Kyrie cannot stand in the way of this if you're the Nets. Who will win the MVP? Now, this one was closer. Kevin Durant, 37%, Luka Doncic, 33%, and Giannis, 13%. You know what's crazy? LeBron James didn't get a single vote in this. That will definitely motivate him, but KD is only 4 percentage points over Luka. And look, I picked Luka as my MVP, and so they're right there with me. I would have picked Kevin Durant, but honestly, I think that he'll probably sit out more games than you would like for an MVP. But I also thought it was weird that the same GMs picked the Western Conference standings and they picked Dallas as 7th place. That's weird. If you were starting a franchise today, you could sign any player. Who would it be? Number 1, Luka, and number 2, Giannis. And it's weird. It's like both guys bring a really unique skill set, but I guess Luka is younger, and also Luka brings that playmaking ability. Giannis, I could also see the case for him because he's a two-way threat. He can defend. Luka's not huge on defense. I think that Giannis, even though he's stepped up big game 6 against the Suns, he still has holes in his game that you have to account for. I just feel like Luka has a higher ceiling, playoffs included, for the next 10 years. Which players most likely to have a breakout season in 2022? Jaren Jackson Jr., 17%, Anthony Edwards, 13%, and Michael Porter Jr. at 10%. Wow. I would vote for Anthony Edwards because, you know, he was making the Rookie of the Year race really close last year toward the end of the year. I feel like if anyone is going to have a really big impact on his team, it's Anthony Edwards, because he could actually lift the Timberwolves from the worst team in the NBA maybe to a playoff spot. That would take a huge breakout year. I just don't see, even if Jaren Jackson Jr. is at his best, that he's going to make that big of a difference for the Memphis Grizzlies, because they already made the playoffs last year, and Ja Morant is the star of the show. Who's the best point guard in the NBA? Stephen Curry. That was easy. 57% of the vote. Who's the best shooting guard in the NBA? James Harden, 63%, followed by Devin Booker, then Luka Doncic. I also love, if you look at the point guard rankings, LeBron James got 7% as the best point guard. And also, LeBron James is voted in the small forward category and the power forward category. He got votes to be the best at 3 different positions in the NBA. So obviously a golden opportunity for the Lakers as well. Who is the best center in the NBA? I love this one. Nikola Jokic, Denver, 63%, followed by Embiid, followed by Giannis, followed by Anthony Davis. That means Rudy Gobert didn't get any votes, which is very cold, because this is a man who has won 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards, and he has a $200+ million contract, but he didn't get a single vote for best center. That is insane. That shows you how much disrespect the defensive side of the ball is getting these days, right? Like, I think that these GMs feel that defense is meaning less and less in today's NBA, and they're valuing offense. What other reason would you say that a guy who won 3 Defensive Player of the Years gets 0 votes in Gobert? Offensive moves. Who had the best overall moves this season? Miami Heat win in a landslide, 47%. Wow, the Lakers 17% and the Nets 7%. Then which player will have the biggest impact? Kyle Lowry got, I mean, that may be the biggest chunk of a vote of any of these questions, Kyle Lowry. So the GMs love Kyle Lowry. I still don't think it's enough to put them over the top to actually win the championship, because we saw that Jimmy Butler needs someone who's really like a 1A, like a step above Jimmy Butler to win, right? That's what they were missing in the bubble. I just don't think Kyle Lowry is that guy. Which team will be most improved this season? The Bulls won at 27%, then the Warriors and the Lakers at 13%. The GMs did not give credit to the Bulls offseason, but at the same time, they say the Bulls will be most improved. Isn't that weird? I mean, there's a discrepancy there. They believe in the Bulls. I don't believe in the Bulls. They look good during preseason, but I'll be really interested to see. Forget preseason. Let's talk regular season when the defenses are more improved and everyone's playing their starters and guys are really trying on offense. How much will the Bulls' bad defense matter? I'm betting it's going to matter a lot, but obviously the GMs disagree with me. Who will win Rookie of the Year? Jalen Green wins with 47%, a full 7 points above Cade Cunningham. I completely disagree with that. I think that, yes, Jalen Green is going to score a lot, and he's going to play a lot for the Houston Rockets, but I think that Cade Cunningham brings it on both ends. He can score, he can play make, and he can defend. And to me, that's going to lead to a few more wins. And as long as he can stay healthy, now he's going to be out for the opener perhaps, but as long as he can stay healthy, I am a Cade guy. Which rookie will be the best in 5 years? Evan Mobley won this thing with 33%. That sounds crazy because they all picked Jalen Green for Rookie of the Year, then Cade Cunningham, and Cade was the #1 overall pick. People think Cade's going to be a franchise player, but I see why they picked Evan Mobley. They did it because he is a big man, and big men take a while to develop. Think about how long Giannis took to develop, or Nikola Jokic, a second-round pick to an MVP now in like his 7th year, right? Or DeAndre Ayton, #1 overall pick. Big men take a while to develop. In year 3, DeAndre Ayton popped in the playoffs. And so I think this is sort of the GMs knowing, a little bit more than just your random fan. Might be really surprised at Evan Mobley. I get where they're coming from, but I still, again, I love Cade Cunningham as a franchise type player. Maybe Cade #1 and Mobley #2 for me. Who is the best head coach in the NBA? Eric Spoelstra, 55%, a huge chunk of the vote. Monty Williams 17%, Quinn Snyder 14%, and Pop 10%. Budenholzer 3%. So every single guy other than Spoelstra comes from the Greg Popovich coaching tree. It really hurts that Pop, who used to be #1 on this vote year after year, is all the way down at 10% in 4th place. I mean, Pop didn't really lose much, but what he lost in terms of personnel is Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. And so maybe people are just using that as a way to say that, yeah, Pop really, a lot of his greatness was made by the players that he had, like Tim Duncan. And once Tim leaves, Pop's teams are in the lottery every year, right? I get that, but at the same time, you could say the exact same thing about Eric Spoelstra. The difference is Spo coaches in Miami, which is a free agent hotbed, right? They always sign free agents. Guys want to sign and trade there, get traded there. And so to me, the answer is still Greg Popovich. He's just in little old San Antonio, where basically they have to draft and develop and be smarter than those big markets like LA, New York, and Miami.